So are we gonna fuck? Sorry I'm being so rude, but you don't talk to me, you don't get excited. What, am I not good enough for you? Can't get it up? Such a mistake. What? You look like a fucking psycho.
Your arms are missing.
Richard, what?
You don't have any arms.
Shayna, yeah, the kinky, red, afro-y, curly thing. She was with him that night. They said they had to take him everything. Shayna was with him and they said, I don't know whose actual name is, but they said that they're going to fight together. So I was like, he's over there. And they put him in handcuffs and everything. Can you believe that? So, I was like, whatever, because I was like, how do they get that much money from the office? Because I'm like, I just need to keep my body together. So that they kind of go from office to office, spending money. Like, how can you know about that? Office don't care $500 there. No benefits, no insurance, but don't tell anybody about that. It's a secret. But whoever knows. But I gotta get back to work. What are you doing?
Hi. We're here to see Mr. Bader.
Dr. Bader.
Yeah.
You must be Richard?
Yeah.
Richard Halsey.
Right.
Have a seat. It'll be a minute.
Thanks.
Richard? Richard? Dick! You can go in now.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Just because you were aroused does not make you a freak. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There is nothing wrong with having feelings for someone who has lost a limb.
You're telling me feelings? Like some lovey-dovey affection I would have for some cute girl in junior high school? This is way beyond that.
Okay, well, perhaps this is some kind of phase you're going
A
through.
This is not a phase. Not being able to get my dick up without visualizing girls with missing body parts is not a phase. Do you hear me? I'm losing my mind. I mean, that's what's going on here, right, doctor? I'm crazy. I've got to be.
Please, sit down, Richard. Richard? Richard, sit down! Do you really want to know what crazy is? I'll tell you what crazy is. A man once came in to see me. Let's call him Bob. Mr. O'Reilly. Please sit down. Bob, who had been living alone for years, started to tell me a story about when he was making popcorn in his kitchen late at night. After the popcorn had finished popping, he reached into the bag. But something strange happened. Do you live with anyone else in your...
I live with Jesus.
You live with Jesus. Many people do. The piece of popcorn he was holding in his fingers began to resonate. And when he looked down at it, he saw the face of Jesus Christ.
This popcorn, this is Jesus Christ. The New Jerusalem. It's in South America, down by Brazil somewhere. I don't know exactly, but it's down there.
This piece of popcorn that he called Christ instructed him to do things like...
It said, strip the sins from your body. You're dirty. You got to get the paint thinner out and just soak in it. Get it out. Sin. Then you can go to the New Jerusalem.
Bob told me that people had lined up outside of his apartment for even a glimpse of Christ.
The neighbors, they all come over. They're sick. They look at the popcorn. I sit there. I put the popcorn. And then they get healed.
So anyway, I started probing deeper into Bob's circumstances, and that's when he started getting irate, almost violent.
What, are you afraid of the popcorn?
This is not...
Oh, I know why, because you're a filthy, rotten sinner. That's your problem. You're afraid what this popcorn will do to you. This is the Jesus popcorn.
Please, can you sit back down? And that's when I leaned forward and pressed the button on the intercom and said the code to my receptionist. Sandy, remind me to pick up a gallon of milk on the way home.
What the heck? You know what this popcorn can do? Go ahead.
Get him out! Get him out of here! Out of here! They dragged him out of there, kicking and screaming. I told you I'd tell you what crazy is. Now that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Good. Now you're relaxed. Let's talk about you. It seems that for whatever reason you've developed some kind of fetish.
I don't know why I have these thoughts. It's been a secret for a long time. But I'm afraid I'll become impotent if I don't visualize girls with missing body parts. I sound like a freak. You've got to help me figure out why I'm this way, Doctor. What is wrong with me? Doctor, what's wrong with me?
There is nothing wrong with you, Richard. Think of your childhood. Perhaps at a young age you came in contact with an attractive girl who was an amputee. And let me reiterate, there is nothing wrong with being attracted to an amputee. You're just puzzled by these thoughts because you can't remember where they stem from. We need to find your ECI. ECI. Emotional crystallization inertia. Or in your case, your erotic crystallization inertia. A philosopher in the late 60s wrote that there is a point in our lives when our emotional or erotic fetishes become established. At that point in time, we realize that something makes us feel good. For some, it's shoes. There have been documented cases of men having to smell their partner's shoes to become aroused.
Okay, but I don't... how?
It's quite simple, really. At a young age, they discovered a pair of shoes that they enjoyed the smell. Most fetishes are harmless, but some need serious medical attention.
Yeah, like mine.
No, not at all. I was referring to people who, for instance, during sex feel the need to be choked into unconsciousness. That kind of stuff is dangerous. Richard, all we need to do is find your ECI. Then you can rationally deal with what's going on and understand it. Of course, if you think it's more serious, then we can arrange a weekly meeting at a rate of $200 an hour.
Well, thanks, Doctor, but I think I'll go find my ECI.
That's what I thought you would say.
Thanks, Doctor.
Sure. Feel free to call the office at any time. Richard? Richard, are you okay?
Oh, yeah. After visiting the doctor, I took a walk to gather my thoughts. Well, I was certain of one thing. I'm not a freak. Suddenly, it came to me. My parents were strict. Everything had to be in its place. So naturally, I yearned for something incomplete. But this wasn't it. No, it was something else. I remember the house that I grew up in. Every piece of furniture was in its place. Everything was complete. Well, everything except for one thing.
You're just puzzled. We need to find your ECI.